Hi, it's Sam, and I'm back for part 2. And before we go out to put some hands on our horses, there are a couple things I want to remind you about. Hopefully you've had a chance to practice the supportive touch and the square breath before you get to this point. If it's been a while or you haven't done it recently, I would recommend that you go back to part 1 and practice that a couple times before you go out to put your hands on your horse. So assuming that you have, then there are 3 things that I want to remind you of before we actually go out and do our hands-on work. The first one has to do with intention. And the basic intention that's always wonderful to have is to be present and support your horse as much as possible. So you can conjure up and hold really any intention that you wish, any type of connection you wish with your horse, but at least get that intention locked in your heart space and your mind space before you go out. That will make a big difference in how you approach your horse. The second thing is, again, maintaining that breath, that deep, relaxed state of breathing. And then the third part is to be grounded. And for our purposes today, being grounded really means being present in our body all the way down into our toes. Sometimes it helps if you imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet, kind of anchoring you down into the earth. The main thing is that you're not in your head, you're not worrying about something, you're not thinking about a conversation you had earlier or perhaps some work deadline that you still have to get to. You are here now in your body, feeling your toes, feeling your feet in contact with the floor, and your intention is to go out and support your horse. So why don't you come with me and you'll get to work with me and how I'm gonna do some hands-on work with my horses, and then hopefully you'll have a chance to do the same and practice with your horse either soon or in the not so distant future. Thanks. All right, come with. Okay, so here I am with my trusty Copper, who's munching on some hay. It's a beautiful day today, so we're really lucky to be able to be outside, and it's nice and warm. So once you get to your horse, as we continue on talking about the next steps and putting our hands on the horses, you do want to remind yourself that you are grounded, even as you're exhaling. Imagine you're exhaling through the bottoms of your feet. As you're inhaling, imagine that your heart is expanding. So you just go through this nice little cycle of inhaling, breathing into the heart space and expanding that, and then exhaling through the bottoms of your feet down into the earth. So it's always nice to just stand. I'm about 3 feet away from Copper. So it's always nice to stand a bit away from them. If you notice when you approach your horse and you're this close and your horse is irritated, then just, take several steps away and just get to the point where they seem comfortable and just start practicing your breathing there before you enter into a tighter space with them. So once you get the feeling that they are okay with that, Then we are going to do 2 points. And the points that we're going to do today, the intention really isn't to work the point. It's to connect with the horse and breathe with your horse, with your hands resting on these points. So it's more subtle than when we would typically work a point to encourage some change and improvement in a particular area with the horse. This is really all about connecting. So the first point, we are going to be up along the back. We're going to follow from the withers all the way down that backbone, the vertebrae, and you can feel the vertebrae, and then the very last vertebrae you'll feel, and then there's a squishy spot. And so I'm on Copper's left side. I'm going to switch my hands. I'm actually going to put the middle of my palm on the center of that squishy spot. And I'm going to keep that right hand there as I reach my left hand up over the withers, just on the other side of the highest vertebrae on the wither. So I'm going to do that with my left hand. So I find the highest vertebrae, and just beyond that, there's a little dip where my finger will fall, and I'm going to place, again, the center of my palm right over that. And I'm going to maintain my left hand here and my right hand over the space along his low back. It's actually a space between the lumbar vertebrae and the sacral vertebrae. So I'm going to maintain those 2 spots. This one up here is governing vessel 14, and the one on the low back is byway. If you're familiar with people, you might be a little confused because this is a different location for byway than for humans. So while we're here, we are again connecting our breath, inhaling into our heart space, exhaling through the bottoms of our feet into the ground. And our hands are actually being molded by the horse's body. I'm not pushing into Copper. I'm almost imagining my hands relaxed and sinking into warm sand. You know that feeling at the beach when you sink your toes and your feet into the sand for the first time, wet sand? So you're just imagining you're doing the same thing with your hands. So there's a deep connection and relaxation, and I'm not trying to do anything to Copper. I'm just being present. I'm being present in my body and with my breath. And you might notice your horse's respiration may slow down. They may lick and chew. Copper's doing a lot of blinking while he's chewing. And you would just stay here, for a while. They might lick and chew. They might go through several different rounds of releases. And after a minute or two, then you can move on. And I would encourage you to move on slowly, so you're not quickly moving out of the space. I would encourage you with both of your hands to just slide both hands slowly along the edge of that back, all the way down, up and over and down the dock of the tail and off. And that's a nice way to end that one. So now the last area we are going to go with Copper, and he's moved around a little bit, is along the ribs. So anywhere caudal, so towards the tail, beyond the shoulder, and before the point of the hip. So anywhere along the barrel, find a spot where you can place both hands on your horse, and you once you find a spot that you think he or she is comfortable with, and Copper's just kind of moving around, so I'm going to kind of move around, see if I can find a spot that he likes. So it seems like that lower spot was not good for him, so I'll leave my hand here. So imagine that I also have my right hand somewhere else along the barrel for him. And we are practicing our deep breathing, inhaling into our heart space, exhaling through the bottoms of our feet into the earth. And your hands are soft. He's licking and chewing. Your hands are very soft, so relax your hands, but also think about relaxing your armpits. Relaxing your armpits will do wonders for relaxing your entire arm all the way down into your hands. And then just let your hands sink into that warm, soft fur. Again, almost like sinking into warm, wet sand. So you're not pushing, you're not forcing, your horse is allowing, and you're just sinking and you're breathing. And then just become aware of your horse's respiration. And if you can, try to sync up with that. Inhaling as they inhale, exhale as they exhale. He's licking and chewing again. And if by chance you get distracted, just return to your breath. Return to relaxing. Relax your armpits. Relax your hands. And then they will let you know when they're done. He just turned around and poked me. He hasn't moved, but it's okay. So when you are ready to finish this last little exercise, you want to do what we've done in the past, so you're not just immediately pulling your hand away. I would put some tension into your hands, a little energy into your hands, make a little circular movement, just rub the area, not hard, again, we're not forcing, and just slowly slide off their body. And then you're done. And as always, you want to thank them because are so wonderful to give us this time. So I'd like to thank you for joining me today and for being part of the herd. It means a lot to me that you are. If you have any questions after going through these videos, please feel free to reach out either by email or text, whatever's good for you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. And during this time of the COVID crisis, I wish you all the best. May you be happy, may you be at peace, may you be safe, may you be free from pain and suffering, and may you awaken to the light of your true being. Thanks.